So we've talked about the digital transformation being an imperative in today's market for any company, whether it's a manufacturing company or not. We've discussed some of the technologies, and you can invest a lot of money in digital transformation, but doing it the smart way. And I'll take the perspective of my customers. They want to do digital transformation in a way that is incremental and almost self-funding. Is that possible? And Raj, I'm going to ask you again, because I know that you're working with several customers right now on some of these initiatives. But how do you get there?
So again, as I mentioned before, they don't need to make it a big program. They can start in small chunks. So what happens is when they prioritize and pick one area where they want to make a digital transformation, now they might need a limited funding to take care of that. But once they have a successful digital transformation in that area, then it becomes a motivating factor. And also, like you said, it could be a self funding. The benefit that they are reaping with that transformation can start funding the other building blocks. And I've seen that in many places. Let's say in manufacturing, and you were talking about advanced planning system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that's a big pain point for a company, then they can start investing money in technologies that are going to make that advanced planning much better. So that way, they're able to reap the benefits, and the benefit that they're getting can be used towards the next opportunity that they have.
So you baited this question, Raj, and identifying some of the bigger pain points. And most companies understand where those are, at least at a high level, where some of those biggest pain points are for them. Are you saying then evaluate that pain point in terms of the technologies, capabilities, tools, software that's available so that you can build a digital transformation plan for that area?
Yes, exactly. So once you identify the biggest pain point, then your focus is going to be to analyze. Again, you can start using some metrics. How you are today in that area? Are you able to get the productivity that you're looking for? Maybe not. And you're looking for, you have a desired productivity level. You have a desired metrics that you want to achieve. Then start looking at technologies and improvements that you can make in that particular area. And when you transform that and you're able to achieve to the KPI that you're looking for, that's a win for you.
Excellent. Genevieve, you have been a CIO. Give us some idea of how you would go about prioritizing digital initiatives in terms of their potential impact and feasibility. What are some strategies that you would have used as a CIO for looking at that and then phasing some of the transformation activities?
Yeah, I to that I think we are extremely important on how to tackle the journey. I think is to have good planning up front. And when I say good planning, I'm not saying planning to the extreme, but at least having a target as far as what the roadmap should look like. And that could obviously will highlight the pain point, but it's highlighting the pain point with keeping in mind what the end game is. Because fixing a pain point, if you say we're going to buy 10 robots on line number 2 to fix A, B, and C, it's great. After 10 months, you're going to have 5 robots, but how does it fit into the global, seamless process integration? You have to have a view of the big picture without falling into the falls of planning to the extreme where you have to, think about everything that could happen and all the options, because the roadmap is never perfect. As you start the journey, there will be changes. It's not perfect, and you should aim to have the perfect roadmap because it doesn't exist. So, to me, an advice would be you need some planning, but don't spend a ton of time to get the perfect plan. Get your feet wet, get started. You can look at the pain point. That's a good start with the perspective of a disjointed process. And the other best advice I would suggest that today is a little bit of, I would say in today's world, reverse engineering. And what I mean by that is, I think we have seen client going, and ourselves as well at D4M. We went to a trade show called the Hanover Mess. This is the largest trade show in manufacturing in the world. It's once a year, and this is all business solution. There's 2,500 exhibit of business solution. This is pure manufacturing, as pure as you can imagine it, leading edge. There's people from every country in the world, and I cannot say enough to people, go check it out. In 3 days, 4 days, you're gonna see about every technology, but not for the sake of technology. You're gonna see business solution installed on the floor with real life situation, whatever. If it's a painting machine, a robot, it's all there. So in the course of 3, 4 days, you're going to see just about everything that exists in the world without exaggeration. So and I think you can see what's available, what people are doing. It's a very good introduction in a very short period of time. For a few $1,000s, you're gonna get so much knowledge in a week. So to me, and it will trigger better discussion with your management, with your with and everything. I think this is probably the best suggestion I could make, and I call this reverse engineering, because instead of looking at yourself in the mirror, see where the pain is. Because oftentimes, if you go around people within your shop, most of the time they know relatively well where the pain is in general. So if instead you go to see what the world has to offer in that kind of trade show, and it becomes, I think, a good accelerator later on to pick or focus on certain type of technology that are, that are very promising. So to me, this is, as a CIO, I think always top of mind, because at the end of the day, the amount that your shareholders are willing to spend, it has limitation, obviously, and you can either spend on building a new plant in Kentucky, or you can either spend on transformation. You can improve your plant in New Jersey. You can put your money on a new plant. So the way you can spend your money, it's unlimited. But at the end of the day, as a technology or a CIO, technology enabler person, you have to be able, obviously, to put up front where are the best, technology,
Sure.
business technology. So to
So
me,
it's almost like taking what
there's a reflection to be done before you jump into the nuts and bolt. You need to look at the forest before you look at the trees. So
so it's almost like taking what Raj said about looking at the pain points and toward some of those first, and then looking at the technologies and perhaps seeing where those two meld
correct. Yeah.
in in order to help drive some of that. And again, a lot of people have a good sense about where some of those benefits are going to come from, what
Yeah.
technologies and how they can do it. But it is to some extent a little bit of a mystery. The
Correct.
last
And
point
to your point, Alan, what I always enjoy saying to my colleagues at the time is, okay, we have a pain point, we have a problem. Chances are somebody in the world have had this problem before us. So let's see what they do.